Hi everyone, welcome to this tutorial on configuring sales commissions in SAP. In this video, we'll walk you through the steps to set up default configurations, commission recipients, commission plans, commission agreements, and how to create and actually invoice those commissions. Let's head into the system to start this process. Our journey begins with setting up a default configuration. So we navigate to the Sales Commission Work Center in SAP. We then head to the configuration area. We see here that we already have an active configuration. To activate sales commissions, you need one active configuration, and you can access that through the Work Center here. Here you can click either New to create a new configuration, or you can edit an existing configuration. Since we already have one active, for simplicity, we'll click on Edit and take a look at how this one is set up. We want to define a commission product through the matchbox and search. We give it a description and we set it to active. After we've done that, we save and we close, and that sets up the configuration for the crucial stages that are yet to come. Our second stage is commission recipients. We navigate to the Sales Commission Work Center and go to Commission Recipients. Commission recipients are contributors eligible for sales commissions. Here we can do the same thing where we have active commission recipients in the system and we can edit those recipients, or we can create a new recipient from scratch. Let's edit an existing. In the event that we were to create a new one, we would see empty fields in all of these areas. Now here we see a recipient ID and we see the status. Of course, we want that status to be active and we want to choose a recipient ID accordingly. We can use the matchbox and search criteria to choose that recipient ID and then set the status to active. Below that, we see the valid to and from dates, which represents the validity of this recipient. You can also add comments and attachments for reference for this particular recipient of the commission. We would add the file here. You can then upload and add the file from your computer by browsing. And you can also add comments here as well. Once we're completed with that process, we can save and then close. Once we refresh this screen, we can go to the newly created recipient here in this repository, and that takes us to the third stage of this process. Let's dive into creating commission plans. So in this case, we go to the Work Center Sales Commission and go to Commission Plans. Our plans define commission details like type, products, amount, and percentage. We have some active commission plans here in the system, and again, we can create a new commission plan or edit an existing. In the event that we create new, we would see blank fields. Let's edit an existing. Here we have a plan name, which we can choose. We set the status to active as always. We have our plan type, quota-based or transaction-based. And then we have our validity start and end tab. Under the product tab, which is down here, we want to define the product ID or product category. And that will be the product category or product ID for which this plan applies to. The plans here are in table format, which means you can assign multiple plans to a recipient. If you're selling products in multiple geographical locations, or as an example, if you have a plan for the northern region, South Central, etc., or even country-based, you could have the scenarios where one of those people work in multiple areas, and that person would have multiple plans associated with them. What this table allows you to accomplish is one person can be assigned to multiple plans in this session. Also, when the commission is calculated at the runtime, the system will pick up the valid plan based on the product ID and calculate the commissions based on that. Or you could have multiple types of plans for multiple products. Some products can be quota-based and some transaction-based. Each recipient can be associated with one or more plans. And you can see that you can differentiate between the types and products and product categories with the table here. Looking at the plan item types here, we have a fixed amount, or we have amount-based or quantity-based. Amount-based or quantity-based triggers the sliding scale, which is one of the key functionalities of commission plans. We have first the lower amount. This is the lower limit of the amount range for which commission percent and commission fixed amount per unit is applicable. This value for subsequent scales should be the same as the upper limit of the previous scales. So let's create an example. The upper limit will be the new lower amount for the next phase of the sliding scale. We can define different percentages for different areas of the scale. We can do the same for commission fixed amount per unit. The commission percent is the percent to be paid for the product, and the commission fixed amount per unit is the commission amount to be paid per unit of sale of the product. So in totality, you would input those commission details accordingly, and once you're satisfied with those details, you can save and then close. We can leave our default changes. Here we see that we set up 70%. And our next stage is commission agreements. We navigate to the Sales Commission Work Center and go to Commission Agreements. This is essentially what's going to link a recipient to a plan. We can click on one for reference and click on Edit. We have our recipient ID, which we had created. And here at the bottom, we choose the plan in which we specified 70%. We set the status to active and then save and close. Before we save and close, of course, we can also attach any files or any relevant documents here and add notes. That takes us to our next stage, which is creating and invoicing commissions. For that process, we want to navigate to Sales Orders, so we can click on New Sales Orders. We create a new sales order and select an account. Here's an example of an account. All of the required fields have an asterisk. Next, we can head to the product line and assign the relevant product. We can perform a quick search here. Put in the mandatory list price. And next, click on View All. Here we click on the Commissions tab, and we want to specify the split. We can release this sales order. And that brings us to our sales order area. Here we see an open sales order that we just created with the relevant amount. Let's open that sales order and click on View All to complete the execution for this commission. Navigate to the Items tab and Complete Execution. And that will change it to In Process. Here we can click Save. And now that relevant percentage will be brought into effect. And we can go to Customer Invoicing, where we will see a to be invoiced invoice request. Here in our work centers, we find Customer Invoicing, Invoice Requests, and because we completed the execution there, we should see in our to be invoiced invoice requests filter the sales order invoice request for the relevant amount. Next, we can quick invoice that with our invoice button here at the top, which makes things a little bit easier. And then after reviewing some of the details, we can release. We see our released invoice. And next we can navigate back to the Sales Commission Work Center. And here we can view the commission under the new filter. So we'll click on commissions there. We see all of our new commission and their relevant percentages here. Here's the relevant amount. Then we can go to sales commissions, commission aggregation, and we can create a new commission aggregation relevant to that recipient to be able to generate the payment. We can search by recipient. And here we can check off which payments we actually want to make. If we click on the relevant one that we just created, we can generate the payment, and this is going to push a supplier invoice. If we go to supplier invoicing, invoices and credit memos, we see a supplier invoice in ready for posting status. At this point, if we were to click on post, that will create a balance in the supplier account to which you can follow the complete AP process to generate payments. That follows our standard procure to pay process in which you can go to either the supplier account or create payment runs to automate the process even further. Now you've successfully learned the process of setting up sales commissions in SAP. By following these steps, you can efficiently manage commission recipients, plans, agreements, and invoicing. Thank you for watching this tutorial. If you have any further questions, feel free to leave them in the comments or contact Phoenix Business Consulting.